All right, here we go. So there's going to be three ways that we can show triangles are similar. So before we talk about those, first, I want to ask a question. What does it mean if shapes are similar? Two things that we learned yesterday's notes, 2 days ago notes actually. What do we know about all the angles if two shapes are similar? They will be what? The angles, you're close, the sides will be proportional. The angles will be equal. So if two shapes are similar, all of the angles are equal. The sides are proportional, which means they'll be in the same proportion. Okay? Now what's handy about what we're learning today is this fact. Okay?
I had to talk to Jamie real quick, Coach.
Okay, you're gonna be on film. You wanna come in the middle, do a cameo?
Yeah.
So the sides will be proportional, angles will be equal. We do not have to show all of that. We're gonna have three ways to shortcut that. First one is gonna be called angle, angle. Okay, what that means is we will need to know that two angles are congruent. All right, so let's do this first. See where it says angle, angle, similarity? Right underneath that, write down this. A with the similar sign. Then we're going to fill this in. If two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles in another triangle, the triangles are similar. Okay? Now what that really is telling you is if I know two angles are equal to two angles, I really know all the angles are congruent, because what do we know about all three angles in a triangle? They add up to 180. So if all three angles in a triangle equal 180, if the first two are the same, like in this case, doesn't matter what those numbers are, does it? These have to be the same. Would you guys agree with that? Okay, so therefore, all we have to do is show two of the angles are the same, and you can say they all are, which means they're similar. So if we look at our example, we have angle R is congruent to angle L. The reason we know that is because they put 2 marks and 2 marks. We know that angle T is congruent to angle P, because they put single marks on that one. Therefore, we can say that these two triangles are similar by angle, angle. And we can now say that triangle RST is similar to triangle LMP. That's our first way. The first way, class, is angle, angle. All right, let's go to the next one. Side, side, side. Underneath side, 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 I want you guys to write SSS, similarity. That's how we'll shorten it. It'll be an SSS. The blanks you want to fill in is if 3 sides of one triangle are proportional to 3 sides of another triangle, then they are similar. So all you've got to do on this one is, now you do have to have all 3 sides of both triangles. You are just going to set up proportions. And don't overthink this. Clearly I want to start with the smallest. It has to match up with the smallest, doesn't it? Then go to the next biggest, which is 32. Put it over the next biggest. And then put it over 40 and 25. So these 3 proportions, these 3 ratios have to be the same. What do you think would be the easiest way to check to see if each one was the same when you have 3 of them? I would just divide them and see if I get the same thing. Which in this case you would. You take 24 divided by 15, see what you get. 32 divided by 20, see what you get. 40 divided by 25, see what you get. In this case, they would all be the same. So I could say triangle DEF is similar to triangle ABC. Quick review. So if you can show 2 angles congruent to 2 angles, you know the triangles are similar. If you can show all three sides proportional to all three sides, similar. And then last but not least, we're gonna have side, angle, side. So we are gonna write SAS, similar, right below that. Now, here's what is important on this one, okay? We do have to have two sides. That's where the side and the side comes from. But the other angle has to be included. So what I mean by that, okay? If I put a triangle over here, and put an angle there, put 4 and 5, is the angle in between the two sides, in this case. You guys see that's not included. So it has to be the included angle for this to work. If it's not included, it doesn't work. So in this case, when we're doing our side angle side, we have an angle congruent, right? That checks off the angle requirement. Now we gotta look at the two sides and see if they're proportional. So I will put 25 over 35. I'll put 40 over 56. If I divide them, they have to be the same. Sometimes you can actually simplify. If you can see it, but it doesn't matter. Either way, divide them, see if they're the same, simplify them. These will be the same, so therefore they are similar. We would have triangle BAC, similar to triangle B prime, A prime, C prime. Okay, is everybody good on that? All right, you guys answer number 2 down there at the bottom, please.